There are scientists that these fast food restaurants and these food companies, they hire scientists that put together ingredients that specifically targets your dopamine receptors, which gives you this illusion that you are happier and What up, squad? Welcome back to the channel. Shout out to the notification squad because I already know you guys checked in. I've noticed that a big part of my ability to execute on behavior change comes down to my understanding of certain concepts. And let me explain what I mean by that. There's one thing to do things because you hear it on the internet. Oh, you should eat this, or you should exercise this way in order to get the results that you want. It's one thing for that to be the case, but there's another thing to hear the information, internalize the information, and really understand why it is that you should be taking steps A through Z, or whatever the case may be. So what I'm trying to do is go a little bit deeper on some of these concepts that I introduced to you guys on this channel by using some of your favorite people who I think we share the same philosophies about fitness. So today I'm going to be using Joe Rogan.
You might know him as a UFC commentator, a stand-up comedian, the host of Fear Factor, or the mastermind behind the wildly popular Joe Rogan Experience podcast.
I'm a big Joe Rogan fan. I think this guy's brilliant. I've learned a lot from his podcast over the years. So I'm just going to experiment with this. So comment below if you enjoy this video and you want me to continue to do videos like this. If this is helpful, just let me know in the comment section below. Make sure you guys hit the like button. If you don't want me to do that dab anymore, you got to hit the like button. Else I'm going to dab in every video just like this. So one of the key concepts that I think is pivotal for people to understand when you're trying to change your body is the concept of getting outside of your comfort zone, right? And we hear that all over the place. There's memes all over the internet about getting outside of your comfort zone. But when you really internalize this information, if you really understand your personal relationship with discomfort, it can lead to a breakthrough for you. I know it definitely did for me. Once I recognized my patterns, once I recognized that I was running away from the very thing that was going to help me get my body to where I wanted, it was a game changer for me. So the first clip, he talks about discomfort. Let's get right into it.
So some people just don't want an exercise. It's weird. They would so much rather go to a doctor and get a pill. It's so strange. It's
a lot of people.
Well, it's this fear of discomfort. People have this extreme feeling in their mind when it comes to their associations with exercise. They want to avoid discomfort. They feel like any type of exercise is just like something to be avoided. That's not for me. I don't want to sweat. I don't want to strain.
Let me start off by saying I can 100% relate to this. In the beginning of my journey, the idea of going to the gym and lifting weights and being around people, it gave me anxiety because it was outside of my comfort zone. It was not what I was used to. But that's the very thing that made me gain 150 pounds in the first place. It was me being so comfortable just being at home. Staying at home and filling those emotional voids with junk food, that was my comfort. In order for me to initiate a transformation, in order for me to start my process, I had to face that fear of discomfort. So I'm glad Joe Rogan spoke about this on his podcast. So this next clip, he talks about consistency. Now, if you watch my channel, you know that's a big part of my philosophy. I feel like most people, especially if you're anything like me and you really don't love exercise that much, intensity is actually the thing that stops us from being consistent. But I want to get into this clip where Joe talks about consistency and how important momentum is.
When I get like really disciplined and really I get really consistent with my workouts, one of the things that I almost feel momentum. I feel like there's like a push behind me, like, all right, like after I get out of the gym, I have a really good workout. I'm like, yeah, now I'm doing it. I'm doing it all the time now. And I'm looking forward to the next time. And it makes that resistance much weaker, and it makes my motivation and my discipline much stronger. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of it is based on just the consistency.
If you're in the beginning of your journey, if you haven't found consistency yet, you haven't reached your goals, long term at least, I think there's so much power in just prioritizing consistency, meaning that let that be your number one goal, is to be consistent. And I believe consistency involves taking an approach that allows you to enjoy the process, or at least not hate the process. You want to enjoy life during the process of weight loss. If you're not enjoying your life, if you're dreading your days, if you're dreading your meals, if you're dreading your workouts, there's no way in hell it's going to stick. So figure out a way to initiate your relationship with exercise and initiate your relationship with better nutrition in a way that promotes consistency, something that you can stick to long term. Because even if you start off with just 1 day a week, you commit to saying, okay, I'm going to cut out soda. I'm going to drink a half a gallon of water every day. I'm going to work out one day a week, right? If that's your initial goal, you can find consistency with that. That's something you can realistically stick to. And there's so many benefits to that sort of consistency because you start gaining confidence. You start building momentum. And then eventually you can turn 1 day a week into 3 days a week. Right? And you do that for a while and you're feeling confident because you're actually sticking to this goal that you set for yourself, right? And then this momentum picks up. And next thing you know, you're an all-out fitness guru and you're making videos on YouTube. So understanding the intricacies of how our minds work and how our bodies follow our minds and the neurological reasons behind our behaviors is so key. So he gets into it in this clip right here.
That goddamn, it's like, I'll tell you, man, like when I'm like shoving some kind of shitty food into my mouth, it's like it's got such a strong gravity for me. Like the moment I kick into that mode, like, man, I guess it's some form of addiction or something.
It's 100% a form of addiction.
Yeah.
It's dopamine. There was a whole article about it recently in one of those.
So dopamine, this concept of dopamine. When I really did some reading about dopamine and understanding how it motivated most of my behaviors, and not just when it comes to fitness and nutrition, but when it came to my social media habit, when it came to my dating habits, it was a game changer for me. So I do advise you guys doing some research on dopamine and internalizing the information. And it will change the way you look at yourself. It will give you a better understanding about your behavior. And again, when you understand these things, it will help you navigate and control your behaviors a lot better. Trust me when I tell you that.
It's dopamine. There was a whole article about it recently in one of those Scientific America, I think, or one of those science journals that was talking about why it's so difficult for people to quit bad habits, because those bad habits, they trigger dopamine releases in your mind when you remember how great it was to eat those donuts. Fuck it, let's just do it.
Yeah.
Fuck it, let's just give it and have that burger and the beer. Oh, this is great. This is glorious. But the problem is you allow those pathways to exist.
So after this clip, he goes on to tell a story about he went on a diet. This hit home with me so hard because I used to think if I gave up certain foods that I wouldn't be as happy, right? We connect happiness to ice cream, to pizza, to fried foods, when really our happiness has nothing to do with that. It's all an illusion. It's all a trick that these dopamine, these pleasure sensors in our mind gives us these illusions that these foods are making us happy when they're not, right? But listen to Joe.
Here's one thing that I've gotten out of this wacky diet that I'm on for the last 16 days or so, 17 days, whatever it is right now. It's something after 2 weeks, right? I'm not less happy.
Oh, right.
I'm not less happy from eating shitty food.
Right.
Like my kids had cupcakes last night after dinner. These little cupcakes, little tiny ones. They have 10 grams of sugar. One fucking little tiny cupcake.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane. Like, how much does a big one have? Anyway, I didn't feel bad. I don't feel bad that I'm not getting to eat a cupcake.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad that I'm not eating a bowl of pasta. It looks amazing. I bet it's great when it goes down. It's not affecting my happiness.
Right.
But if I got fat, it would affect my happiness.
Right.
If I looked at myself in the mirror, I'm like, you fucking slob. What is all this shit I can grab around here? What is all this stuff?
Let me tell you guys something. The way that our brains react to these highly palatable foods. When I say highly palatable foods, I mean sugary foods, salty foods. So that includes all the fried foods and all the carbs that spike our insulin. There are scientists that these fast food restaurants and these food companies, they hire scientists that put together ingredients that specifically targets your dopamine receptors, which gives you this illusion that you are happier, and it gives you this reaction that is addictive. It is addictive. You have to free yourself from that. You can get the same sort of pleasures from healthier foods if you learn how to cook them. When I did the research and I understood this was a game changer for me. I no longer wanted to allow myself to be a victim of this system that's designed to keep people unhealthy. And I'm not going to get into the conspiracy theories about big pharmaceutical and how everything is intertwined into this big scheme to just keep people fat and unhealthy and keep us spending money on stupidness. I'm not going to get into that. I want you guys to do some research. This is some real stuff, guys. It doesn't have to be hard to change your habits once you understand truly what is going on. Once you understand how you are being manipulated, it's not your fault. I'm telling you, this is a plot, guys. I'm not going to get too deep. I think I'm going to leave it at this, guys. Comment below if you like these style of videos. This is just a test run, right? If you guys like these sort of videos, I'll continue to make them. I have fun doing the research. Like I said, I'm a big fan of Joe Rogan, and there's plenty other people besides Joe Rogan who are giving really, really, really good advice on how to change your lifestyle and how to change your body. There's a lot of good information out there, and I can scour the internet and make videos about this all day. I love it. So let me know in the comment section if you enjoy this. And as always, guys, I'm just trying to share the wellness with you. So get well and get money.